Hi, I'm Marty.
And I'm Effie.
And we are the Mums, Mysteries and Murder podcast.
Each month we take turns bringing you mysteries and true crime stories from our respective homelands, Australia and Scotland.
But be warned, there's no shrimps on the barbie or oui, Jimmez.
Excellent accent, Marty.
No one has shrimps on the barbie in Australia. It's prawns, and they don't even have prawns on the barbie. Anyway.
Disappointed. You can find us on Apple or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts and join us over on Mums, Mysteries and Murder on Instagram.
It's not big or clever, but it is entertaining.
So I remember this case and wanted to share it with Jonas, but I realized that my memory it's not what it used to be. I guess turning 28 has its perks.
30.
28.
30.
I'm 28.
No, you're not.
Shut up. Everybody knows that since the pandemic, the years don't count. So I'm 28 plus 2.
So I'm 29.
Okay, plus 2.
Sure. Hey guys, and welcome to Spilling the Crime, a true crime podcast with
me, Umberto,
and me, Jonas, and today we are here to brought you
about
really horrible crime that is so horrible that I didn't.
The award for the most horrible crime goes to this one.
I felt so drained after watching this documentary. I knew nothing about this. It was your fault. You decided to see this one, to watch this one, and I was like, okay, let's do that. It seems fun. Not fun.
In my defense, I did not remember that it was this dark. So I'm sorry.
No, it's fun.
But it's done. We watch it, and now we have to tell the story.
Yeah, this is about the serial killer Dennis Nilsen, that narrates his life and horrifying crimes via a series of chilling audio tapes recorded from his jail cell. What? How are you able to have these things? What the hell? I mean, for me, this is the darkest episode we did so far.
Yes, no doubt.
Yeah. Also, Happy Pride Month, everybody!
Pride Month. This one is to close the month in a beautiful way.
Oh my god.
My name is Dennis Nilsen. On the journey to the police station, I was asked,
are we talking about one body or two?
I immediately replied, 15 or 16. I was an inwardly troubled boy, and nobody seemed to notice. Well, we've all got to die of something, haven't we?
Normally, in a murder case, you'll have a victim. Then you will go looking for the murderer. In this case, we had a murderer, but he didn't know who the victims were. At one stage, there was no room under the floorboards. There were so many bodies there.
I am not a monster. I am a man. Awkward, isn't it?
I couldn't stop myself.
I just want to say that I hate his voice. I just want you to stop talking. You have like a tick for the dramatics. Like, I'm gonna record every single detail cause what?
I love the accents. He started like, oh dear. And I'm like, what?
I loved my accent. It's spot on. But he also he coughs, and every time he coughs, he's like, oh dear. I don't know which one is worse, having all his confessions or having nothing. So I think I prefer this way.
In this particular case, I don't know if the tapes brought anyone some kind of peace. So I don't know.
There is also a phrase that he says. He's like, we are ruining our health. Yeah, bitch. Shut the
so
fuck up.
He smokes and he's worried about his lungs.
Shut the fuck up. Oh my god. So, let's start from the beginning. Where are we? What year are we on? What happens? How does this start?
So, guys, the year is 1983 and we are in London.
Oh, the 80s.
Yes, in North London, the neighbors call the plumber because the drains are not working. So they start having floods in the apartment. When the plumber gets there, he cannot open the manhole.
They call the manhole.
The
What?
manhole.
What? If,
I was so scared when I heard this words.
I'm a child. What's a manhole? What's a manhole? I have a manhole. You have a manhole?
I have many,
What is a
many holes.
What is a manhole?
Sorry, but I would.
Why is it called a manhole?
I don't know.
Why is it called a manhole? For this crime, for this story, this is not appropriate.
Yes, but for those who don't know, the manhole, it's like
A sewer.
a sewer.
Sewer
Where the waste from all of the buildings
the building
go.
goes, and every few months someone goes there to just empty the manhole.
The manhole, yes.
My job is to empty the manhole. Let's
they
do. Oh, it's in English. Sorry. My job is to empty the manhole, so I'm going there to empty it. The manhole in Cranley Gardens. Oh, this was good. No.
Yeah, that was very good. So you empty the hole so you can fill the hole.
The manhole.
The manhole.
Let's move on.
Okay, let's move on, please, from the manhole. So the manhole, it's full, and the apartments are having floods, and everybody it's bothered with the situation. But it's Saturday night, and the plumber cannot do anything. So they have to come back the next day.
I don't think it was the next day. It was on Tuesday.
Someday.
Yeah.
They come another day where it's possible to open the manhole.
They take their
The
time.
manhole is open.
Gaping hole.
And they found...
By the way, this engineer looks suspicious as hell.
Yes, when the engineer appeared in the documentary...
He saw some shit.
Yes,
literally.
I thought that he was the killer. But no, sorry if you are alive and hearing this.
I'm
Sorry,
really sorry.
But you are creepy as hell.
Yeah.
So they were inside the manhole and they found some substance.
Yeah, it was
a
really
weird substance. And the engineer found that very strange and called his supervisor. The supervisor then calls another person that calls another person, and then the police is involved.
Yeah.
And
we are introduced to Steve Kushker. So he was the office. So he was at the office and a colleague told him that he had been called to Cranley Gardens. That's where this happens at the beginning, where possibly human remains were found in the manhole. They were after someone who did this, who lives in this building. And I forgot to write this portion. And so Umberto's gonna tell, because I didn't realize who it was, and I realized later who it was. I was like, oh, it's him. What?
that was so fun. So, of course, that we are introduced to the killer, and then we move to this part explaining how the killer was found. And Jonas was so surprised when they told that Nilsen lived in the upstairs apartment. He was like, "Oh, it's him! You, of course, it's him."
Yeah, so
the story is about him.
Yeah, Nilsen lived in the flat, the top flat, and he had some neighbors downstairs. Yes. That's so creepy.
Find him working at a job center. I guess they looked for his name.
Oh, he wasn't there, right?
No, and they waited for him. He got home around 5 p.m.
So we find out during this documentary that we have confirmation that these bones and flesh were actually from human remains. They were able to find, I don't know how, but they found strangulation marks in these remains. And this is the point where we start listening to Nilsen singing, like, fucking stop, shut the fuck up. My God, you don't even sing well. Oh my God. So the police goes upstairs because they want to talk with him and really smell dark, horrible smell comes out of the flat. Like, I can't imagine. I can't compare this to something that it's from my life, like farts. I call it Armageddon. Like, I've been there. I've been there. Don't you know about this?
What about Armageddon?
Yeah, the Armageddon.
I don't know.
It happens like every week for me.
Every
Yeah.
week?
Just go to a bathroom
have to be
after someone
careful.
leaves the bathroom, and I just
You
I
have to be
faint for a
careful
while.
who you hang out with.
Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes the floor is wet.
But-
it's all I'm saying.
But Stevie's there, and he asks, "Where's the rest of the body?" He goes straight to the point because he knew this smell. This smell was like a dead body. And Nilsen points to the wardrobe. And we find 2 black bin sacks. Oh my god. Oh my god. And they arrest him and take him to the police station. Steve also sits next to him. Oh hell no. No, I'm not gonna sit next to him. He probably also smells like death.
Maybe. At this point, we are having Nilsen taken into custody, and the inspector asks, because he found it strange, the size of the bags, and he thought that one body was not enough to fill those 2 bags, and he asked, Nilsen, are we talking about 1 or 2 bodies?
And he immediately replies with, 15 or 16. Like, what the fuck?
Dun, dun, dun.
Super casual, like 15 or 16. I don't know. Now this felt like a guy from Texas talking. I don't know.
You are not on point today.
I'm not.
We are not drinking alcohol again.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, for disappointing. 15 or 16 is something that I answer when somebody asks me how much money do I have in my wallet.
Who's counting anyway?
Who's counting?
But
Oh, darling, don't. What a bother.
yeah, who's counting? Oh my god. So Nilsen gets into his cell and smokes a cig. Like, what? You can smoke a cigarette in prison? Like, how is it illegal to be gay at this time and not illegal to smoke a cigarette?
In that time, you could smoke anywhere, even in planes, airplanes. At that time, airplanes didn't fail when you smoke in the inside, but today they fell. They fell. Yeah, they fell.
So they only had authority to have him in custody for 48 hours. No! Lock him up! Lock him up! So Steve puts him into questioning like ASAP, and Nilsen starts talking about everything. What?
Yeah, talk about spilling.
Yep.
We should have had you sooner, Nilsen. This doesn't keep one secret. He spills everything.
So, let me talk about this. So, what was his strategy of the crime? Or how would he find a victim? Because we have like 16 or 16, right? So, his strategy was to go to a pub, speak with someone, take him to his flat. They would drink, listen to music, talk, and in the morning, Nilsen would wake up with a dead body on his side.
Category is after party. Sorry, we have to make fun of something. This is awful. This is horrible.
Oh my God, this is
Many
horrible.
people died. This guy's a monster. But we have to have fun. Yes, this is why we are here.
And by the way, we are only 10 minutes in the documentary.
Yes.
We took like 3 hours to see a 1 hour and 20 minutes documentary.
Yes, but it's because he is the one talking. This is so nerve-wracking because the guy is confessing everything. It's like, don't you have any remorse?
He remembered everything, but he couldn't remember what exactly he did.
Yeah.
He would wake up with a dead body, like, oh, good morning, Daddy. Oh, sorry.
This was the point where I decided that I will never reply to a text message saying that I'm dead when somebody asks me how my hangover is being. I will not say I'm dead. I will never say this because apparently
Oh my God.
someone was.
Since we didn't have names from the victims, because he also didn't remember the names, he didn't know who they were, but they were mainly young men and they were given numbers. So Nilsen is really proud, talking about how this would be the biggest case in the media. And the careers of these detectives and policemen. Like, you're disgusting.
He talks to like the police are dumb and he knows everything and he has all the information and he's willing to share to help the police because
Literally a memoir.
this one is the kind that he's proud.
Oh yeah, he definitely
He's
is proud of
super
this.
proud.
Like you, oh my god, he's probably the only person proud of this. Seriously, this is so sick.
So we are hearing the recordings and then we meet investigators, police, journalists that were involved in the investigation.
Douglas Benz,
It's the journalist that
who wrote the story.
Yeah.
This story, but there were some resistance because they didn't want to bother people at their breakfast table.
Yeah, it would be unpleasant.
What the fuck is about this breakfast table? There was like 5 minutes talking about the breakfast table.
It was I guess they were worried that people felt sick reading this while eating their cornflakes.
Read it later or eat later.
Stop eating.
What?
After watching this, I didn't.
Yeah, because at this time, people would get journals in the morning by... Normally, it would be children that would deliver the newspapers to the doors, and they would get the news like this. And guys, come on.
So for you to understand, they were not sure about if they should or should not publish this story.
But they did. And this story became viral.
And here we meet another correspondent from BCC named Bill Hamilton, and he didn't want to go to I don't know how to say the name of this city. Greenville, Greenpiles, Green. How does this city called where the crimes happened?
Cranley? Cranley Gardens.
Cranley Gardens. So Bill Hamilton didn't want to come to
Cranley Gardens.
because he thought it was a small story. But when he got there, he realized that he could go to the front door and watch everything because no perimeter was set. Mm-hmm. So it was like crime scene open for everybody.
In 4 years, there were 15 to 16 victims. And the police only found the remainings of 3 bodies in the Cranley Gardens, in the manhole of his house. I'm a child.
Only 3. Gross.
So
still, it's too crowded for me.
Oh my God.
4 people in one apartment, too crowded. For me, cannot do. You have to go.
So the question here lies, like,
where
are the others?
Dun, dun, dun.
They are at the 195 Melrose Avenue. Another fucking house! Ah! Do you feel alone? Do you feel like you need company? Company while you have that afternoon drink at your apartment, or going back to your house, not drinking in your car, and you feel alone and you need some company. Well, Spilling the Crime is here for you. You should totally follow us to get your latest crime news and get some laughters with some drinks.
Are you done?
Yes.
Do what he said.
So yes, you know where to find us. Every place Spilling the Crime in every stream platform. Apple Podcast, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, YouTube. Find us there. Oh, and on Instagram. Be there. We are waiting for you. It's a fun place to hang out. Bye. Is it good?
Yes.
Okay.
Nilsen had no problem sharing the other address where he kept or where he committed the other murders. And if you are chilled but excited, You are my kind of people.
Yeah.
At this point, I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
No. If you're chilled, like
What happened?
every person on this documentary said it was cold.
It was a freezing night. It was a freezing day. It was very cold. Come to Portugal. Here we have good weather.
So this address was given to us, and we are presented by Karen Hunt, police constable. What is this?
I don't know. Police lady was what I wrote.
Love the name, by the way. She was part of the first wave to go to this new address. They were briefed there, not in a car, not before. She just went there and were like, this is what is going on. There might be dead bodies here. Go search. So they went in. And where were the bodies?
Wait, I want to know if you are ready.
Stop the car. Stop driving now.
Yes.
Just
I
stop
will
it.
not say this before.
Okay. So they entered the house and
they found the bodies. Sorry, sometimes you're behind. So the bodies were under the floorboards. Under the floor. Are you getting the image? Are you getting? So he lifted the boards from the floor and put the bodies there.
yeah, and we are hearing Nilsen sharing this with us. Like when the number got too high and there was no more space, he got another idea.
Just a quick ad. This episode is sponsored by Pine Scented Floor Wax.
Oh my god.
Okay, we are back, guys.
The other idea was to burn them in the back garden. Nobody made a complaint, no neighbor, and he put all the ashes on the ground and also some small bones.
After hearing this, the police goes and talks to the neighbors and asks them, do you think it's possible that Nilsen did bonfires to burn the bodies? And the neighbor said, yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, he did.
How the fuck is What?
They were probably thinking, oh, and they also commented on the smell.
Have you ever
It
smelled?
smelled like pork or something.
Yes,
And they were,
it's-
maybe he was
You can
doing
smell
some
that
food.
that is not garbage. The smell of flesh being burned, it has a specific smell.
Sure, but I would also probably be afraid if I had a neighbor that would do this every single week or every single month
Okay,
that
but
I would never talk about with, and I'm not sure. I don't know. So who were these people?
They had no idea. They could not identify the people. They were looking for 15 or 16 because Nilsen said so. So they decided to ask Nilsen, how can we identify these people? And he told them to go back to the first house, or better, the last house where he committed crimes, and to look for pictures.
And there they found an arm. They used the fingerprints to find the identity. And they did find a match. Oh, I hate this. I hate this so much. Oh my god. So Stephen Sinclair is our first victim that is shared with us in this documentary. He was never reported missing. He was from Scotland and went to live in London. The police realized that these victims might be homeless or drifters, might also be vulnerable men with no money, nowhere to go. Also in Britain, they were living in a time with high
They were poor as fuck.
They had a high unemployment at that phase in Brighton, basically. So sorry. Oh my god. Words. Ugh. 48 hours since his arrest. And the media didn't know who he looked like. And the media finally got what they wanted. Nilsen finally shows his face. Not because he wanted, probably he did. And here is where we get Nilsen's upbringing. Where did he come from? I'm not gonna say this word.
So he comes from Aberdeenshire or something like that.
Aberdeenshire.
And investigators look for his mother.
Yeah, they looked for a Nilsen surname in this location.
And they call.
Yeah, and the mother answered.
Mother didn't want to talk with the police, but the police were able to convince her.
Yeah, she was like, I don't want to talk about this today.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, but we are there now. And she was like, oh, okay then. Like, come on.
So the house was pristine, everything was clean. She looked like a very organized person. And they asked how did she feel when she heard about the crimes.
Yeah, she described Nilsen as a normal and quiet boy. And here we have an exchange of how different ideas the mother and Nilsen had, because the mother thought he was a really peaceful child, and then afterwards we hear Nilsen says, I was a troubled boy. You think you are? So we have an exchange of different thoughts. That's where we understand that sometimes mothers don't know everything, because children don't share everything. And here we also know that at 9 years old, he fell in love with another boy for the first time. He kept it as a secret from the world, because most gay men at this time had to live a secret and a dark existence, because I believe it was illegal to be gay, which is, I can't imagine how part of who you are is illegal. It doesn't make sense to me.
So Nilsen felt that his childhood was... He even says that no photos of me exist. Yeah. He was from a previous marriage. His mother got married again and had 4 other children. So it was a crowded place.
He wasn't noticed.
Yes, and he had all these feelings about being gay and finding out these feelings for other guys. So he felt apart, inferior, ashamed, basically an abomination. Sadly, you became one.
Yeah, so Nilsen was gay, and his victims were found in gay bars. At the time, he was called the gay killer. It's gonna stick, says Douglas, the journalist. Yeah, at the time, yeah, for sure. We also find out that Nilsen is an ex-copper. He was a cop, guys. He was a cop. I told you guys that cops at this time weren't good people. They weren't good people. So were the cops, his colleagues, ashamed of his crimes, or were ashamed of him for being gay and a cop?
I believe that definitely at that time being gay was the worst the worst thing. We cannot forget that although it was not a crime to be gay, people were still marginalized, and this was not well seen. And to find out that he was a cop, I guess this really left some people angry.
Yeah. So now we are introduced to Bob Bratton, who worked with Nilsen. They were colleagues. They were cop buddies. So Nilsen didn't achieve much as a cop. And Bratton got, one day, years later, got a phone call ordering to investigate an assault. The house had black walls, and there was a lot of blood everywhere. This young boy, taken to the hospital, was picked in a pub. Similar story to our victims. But when he woke up, he was naked, and this man went towards him. It was Dennis. When they contacted the parents of this victim, the parents didn't want to bring Dennis to court. If they would bring him to court, he would probably be in jail. And he just got free because they didn't want to press charges there.
It's amazing how shame can control your life.
Yeah,
and
most definitely.
These crimes happened because people were not allowed to talk. And this is super sad. So we get to know another victim. This was John the guardsman.
Victim number 13.
Police were able to find that this was a rent boy, aka a male prostitute. And based on this, police found here a new lead in the investigation. And they searched for a list of rent boys to see if they could identify another victim. Don't forget that we are looking for 15 to 16 victims.
Yeah, they had a list of rent boys of the area. But here we find out the real name of John the guardsman, John Howlett. Nilsen knew that if these rent boys were missing, nobody would report them. Clever bitch. Meanwhile, back at the Melrose apartments, their first one,
The floors.
the floor, they started digging up the back garden and found a lot of bones. And yeah, we see a woman saying that normally we find a bone every single hour. This time we found every minute a new piece. Like,
Yeah.
So 5 years before the arrest, we are introduced to Martin, who was another survivor who went to Nilsen's house in Melrose.
Martin was also poor and also vulnerable.
He liked the attention that he received from Nilsen. It was different from his typical clients because he was also a rent boy.
The story is the same. They met in a bar. They went to Nilsen's house. They slept together. But when Martin wakes up, he can feel the smoke, smell, see everything. The room was full of smoke. And Nilsen soon says that the fault was on Martin because he let the heater
Turned on. Yeah, but it was hot that night, so there wasn't need for a heater. And that's where he realized he tried to kill Martin. He would be his first victim, but he's here talking with us on this documentary, so he escaped. I think this was the start of everything.
We get to know another victim, not the victim, unfortunately, but the widow, called Leslie, who tells us the story of Graham.
Yeah. Victim number 14.
Victim number 14.
And probably the oldest of all the victims.
He was 40 or something.
Yeah, every single victim was between 16 and 20 something years old. A lot of young victims.
Yeah, at this time, this was everywhere. This was in the media, and Nilsen was called the gay killer. But so you can imagine that nobody really cared. So they were able to identify Graham, and they come to Leslie's house and ask her, "Do you know Nilsen, the killer?" And she answers like, "No, it cannot be. It cannot be the killer of my husband because my husband is not gay." This was the main thing here.
Yeah, they had a picture of Graham and showed her, and it was her. It was her ex-boyfriend.
Apparently, she was feeling very disturbed because they had a fight in that day. Yeah. Graham was a drug addict, and at that morning he was going to get a fix, and she told him, if you are going for a fix, please don't bother to come back.
And he never did. Yeah. During the investigation, they realized that Graham was killed by Nilsen. Also, by the way, she was mad that in the news they were saying all victims were homeless gay men. And she said, not all of them were. He wasn't. She says that a lot.
Yeah,
and
she
I feel
was very concerned.
Yeah, I feel like that shouldn't be the focus here, Leslie. So I'm so sorry. Yeah. I think someone died. And we should start seeing people as people and not as people in their sexuality.
And putting them in a box. She even says, don't dump them all in one box.
I mean...
they were dumped not in a box, but they were dumped all together in some place.
Yeah, but this victim, Graham, parts of his body were in Cranley Gardens. Oh my gosh.
So Leslie wanted to hear all she could about this crime.
Oh my God.
She got to do that because we know, of course, that our killer doesn't keep secrets.
And she wanted to hear.
And guys...
Oh my God.
And again, be ready. I will only continue this if you are ready, because what Nilsen did to Graham, it's very explicit.
We're having a little break because this is, if you notice, we started with a really high energy and now we are feeling drained as fuck.
Yes.
But here we are having a pause just for a call to action.
Yes, it will continue. This is getting darker and darker.
Right.
So, but we wanted to take the 1 minute here for advising you. Yes, because you need it. Subscribe to our channel
Rate us on every platform. This is fun.
so we can continue doing what we do.
Yes.
This is how we do.
This is how we do. Yeah, doing like that, doing like that.
This is how we do.
This is how we do it. Great, amazing.
But yeah, subscribe for you to have the latest information about us and don't miss on all the fun that is happening on social media. By the way, thank you for everybody everywhere.
Yes, every comment that you give us, every message.
Obrigado, Brasil.
Thank
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Muchas gracias. And I words. Yeah.
Words.
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to say in Japanese, but I could completely.
Next episode.
Atadakimasu. I don't know.
Don't talk about that.
I'm not. I know some Japanese. I can't remember. Oh my god. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, if you didn't stop your car, you should stop now. If you didn't take a shot of your drink, just take it now.
Yeah.
Everything will go inside better. You will. I don't know what I'm saying. It will go. It will flow better. No, it won't. But here we go. God. So what happened? What did Nilsen do to Graham?
So he strangled him. That is typical. He drowned him. That's typical. But after that, he kept him set at a table for 2 days
Oh my god.
while he left to work. The body there.
Oh my god.
Yeah. This is another level of insanity. They used to watch TV together. Again, I'm talking of a dead body. Yeah. On the third night, he pulled the body, he covered it with talcum powder,
Yeah.
and he masturbated on him. Only after that, he got rid of the bodies. This is more graphical than this. This is worse, but I don't know if I want to share all with you.
If you see this documentary, you will hear, like, you see Leslie looking through the window and Nilsen saying everything he did to Graham. It's horrible.
She knew she was informed about all of this. Can you imagine?
This is the most horrible thing I think I ever heard in my life. I can't imagine how you could surpass this as a family member or like a partner. But at this point you're asking, okay, so he's done all of these crimes the same way. Where did all of this start?
And we get an answer. So Russ Ruffy, I believe, it's a journalist, and he was a young journalist at the time, and he was looking for his first big history, and he decided to contact Nilsen. He found out that Nilsen was trying to write his autobiography in prison, and so he decided to contact Nilsen because, of course, this is a big story. And Nilsen, of course, there's one thing that you can say that Nilsen was, and it was cooperative. Yeah,
For sure, he really liked to share things.
he liked to tell his story.
So at 5 years old, when he saw his grandfather in the coffin when he died, his ideas of love and death fused. And since he would take Nilsen to everywhere he went, Nilsen says, why wouldn't he take me to that better place too? Like the grandma said that when people die, they go to a better place. And he was only 5 when he said this. This is horrible. Like a 5-year-old having this perception and thought about love and death. I don't even know how I could process it. But by the way, we during this dialogue, we have a Stones Nilsen on the recordings. He now got access to marijuana and a keyboard. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah,
What?
it's going on trance or something. It's finding himself.
What prison is this?
It's kind of a trip. Back in the days, I guess this was very normal.
I want a keyboard. I
As
want
it
to
is,
learn.
as it is to say to a kid that the dead ones are going to a better place. This is normal. But in this case, something was not normal.
Yeah, and Nilsen finally admits that his grandfather would abuse him, and that's why he probably took him everywhere he went. Probably, as soon as I listened to this, that they would spend a lot of time together, something clicked on me, and I thought, oh, don't tell me. I don't know how this could get any darker, but we are there, guys. This is a roller coaster of an episode. I mean, I think that this is why his idea of love and death fused. And it's really sad if this actually happens.
That is his opinion. He came to that conclusion. So we are only describing what he said. He also linked this, I don't want to call it ritual, to talcum powder, I guess because of the color, for once, and maybe the smell. Maybe they did something to their bodies with talcum powder. Because
No. You know how when he finally was able to have his own room, I think when he tried for the course from the cop situation, he would finally have his room, and he would put the powder on himself, and
so he can look
at
dead
in the mirror.
Yeah, so he got this obsession of looking for his grandfather in a dead figure. This is very creepy. Very, very creepy.
Oh my god!
But I have a question for you, because I have
oh boy,
my opinion upon this.
Okay.
Do you believe that he was born bad or that he turned bad?
I don't think people are born bad. I think they turn bad.
Or are sick. Or have a dizziness. A disease. Oh my god.
I don't think a disease will make you kill people. Will it?
I don't know. Maybe maybe some psychosis or maniac attack or something. I'm not a psychiatrist, but
I mean
I cannot exclude. You have diseases where you have hallucinations. So
okay. But every killer starts from somewhere, and they start by killing animals, and at 10 years old, he did kill the neighbor's cat because he was curious to see how the cat would die strangled. And they left town after this situation, not a red flag. It's funny how the mother didn't talk about this.
We are oversharing from the documentary.
Yeah. But sure. 8 months since arrest, and the police identified 7 victims from the 15.
From the 15 that Nilsen says that
we are not sure if they are all dead.
I'm not convinced.
I'm not convinced that they are all dead. I believe that some were able to escape, or maybe there are more than 15.
I don't believe that. I believe that he takes pride in this. He grabs about this. So I believe that there were fewer victims than the ones that he said.
We are now at Nilsen's trial, and Leslie was advised not to go to this trial, but she did, to pay respects for Graham. My question for you is, would you go if you were on her shoes?
Yes,
would you have the courage to go?
Yes, I would like to look at his face.
Would you have the courage to see the person who killed?
I would need to see.
Same.
I guess it would bring me some kind of peace, or at least I could unleash some hate and scream or something.
I don't even know what emotion it would be.
Yeah.
But guess what? He pleaded not guilty. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Dun, dun, dun.
You have these tapes. You talked about everything you've done. You plead not guilty, and you also have a lawyer.
Of course you have a lawyer.
No,
What
you
the
shouldn't
fuck?
have a lawyer.
Of course you have to have a lawyer.
But who will defend this guy? Well,
That
Yvonne Lawrence.
Someone has to, even if it's someone given by the court, but you have to have a lawyer.
But yeah, his strategy was he too mad to go to prison? It's every single person who does shit like this, the only way that they can get off of prison is if they are mentally ill or they are mad in some way, which is really scary.
I believe that this was not the case. Nilsen was a very smart guy. He was a director. He was, and you can see by the way he talks that
Yeah, he was clever.
He's smart. So I believe that at this point he was just enjoying himself. He was just let me see what they can do if I plead not guilty, because by the way he already told them everything.
Yeah.
Where were the bodies? What did he do with the bodies? So he told them everything. Now that he is in court, not guilty. It's just fun for me.
But they needed proof that someone was at this house, someone who knew him. Martin was the one, but he didn't want the world to know that he was gay. He didn't want to be involved. They found other men like Martin that survived Nilsen, but they also felt the same way as Martin. They were scared that everyone would know about their sexuality, because at this time it was way worse than it was nowadays. Nowadays is not even half of what they suffered. But one guy had the courage, and that guy is Karl Stutter.
So Karl Stutter was the brave one that was willing to come to court and to tell his story. Apparently, the story was the same. So
Yeah.
they met at a pub. They grabbed some drinks. They went to
Cranley
Nilsen's house.
Gardens.
Yes, they
Drank.
cuddle and they
Talked.
didn't have sex.
Yeah.
But
they
because
went to bed.
they were tired, and Karl Stutter fell asleep.
Yeah, but before Karl went to sleep, Nilsen said, "Oh, be careful. You might be caught on the big zip bag. Ah! Run! Karl, run!"
And this was the thing that burned Nilsen and that ended up convicting him.
I can't believe it. We hear Karl talk about what happened. This is so chilling. This is so fucking chilling. I can't believe this. This is so humane. I can't even imagine how you can come back from this situation.
This is creepy as hell. So he continues to tell his story, and he wakes up in a nice tub bed, being drunk, basically.
Yeah.
He's sucking. He's trying to breathe, and he's being held down by Nilsen. Can you imagine waking up like this?
No.
It's an horror story.
It's one of my biggest fears is to die drowning. I can't even imagine.
And the thing is that he died. He remember breathing water, and he died. But he was revived
by Nilsen.
Yes, Nilsen did
Cardiac massage.
resuscitation. So
PCR.
yeah. So Nilsen revived him.
It's like he wanted to have that power, like a god's power.
Yes.
To resuscitate.
As he describes it, it seems like he had that feeling, that godlike power, that I can take life, but I can bring life. I'm both the devil and the angel. No, you are just the devil.
No, I don't know. I didn't get he was able to leave the house. Like, oh, come back again, bye. Like, what? But he survived. Went to the police and they called him a drama queen.
Yes, this
What?
this is insane because
These cops.
this happened when the attempt happened, but we are only finding this many years after.
Oh my God.
By the time Nilsen is on trial. So the police called him a drama queen, and there were no records of this. The police didn't even record this event.
And there were more like him.
Yeah.
And they just, no, they didn't write a report.
They discard everything. Apparently as many as 5 others.
Yeah. Yes, the same. Wouldn't you be like, wait.
Unfucking believable.
Wait, I'm a cop. Wait, there are this 5 different but similar situations. Wouldn't I be concerned? No.
No, they are gay. They don't matter.
Yeah.
It's like talking to a door or something. Someone just tried to kill me. Oh, you are a drama queen. Yes, it was very fun.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm completely
It was so
drama
fun.
queen.
I will come back tomorrow.
Yeah. Sorry,
So
not sorry.
15 or 16 people died because no one cared to pay attention, not even the police. Sorry, but I'm feeling something inside of me and I will not be kind. But I believe that prejudice should not and must not be a factor in the police work. Not today, not back then, not ever.
Yeah.
You should be able, and I pay as much as heterosexual and pansexual and everything sexual in the world. So we all pay the same. We all pay for our
Taxes.
social security. So please, just do me the favor and do your job.
We are people.
Thank you so much.
We are people. Carl goes to Nilsen's trial. The police was able to prove that this was premeditated. And Carl realizes that he's alive because there were no more room under the floorboards. Oh my God! I'm drained as fuck! Oh my fucking caralho! I'm so tired! I'm so overwhelmed! This is so horrible! Carl becomes a witness, and this brave man gave strength to the other survivors to come forward with and show their faces and share their experience. There's a situation. Nilsen was fucking found guilty on all 6 murders.
Thank God.
Yes, unfortunately, only 8 victims were identified by the police from the 15.
This only happened because of the fucking zip bag. The zip bag, no, the zip from the sleeping bag. Because if it was not for this incident, police could not prove that there was premeditation of the crimes.
Yeah.
And he could be found not capable and not guilty because of his disease. This was the thing. The phrase that he said to Carl was his when he said, "Oh, be careful, you might be caught by the big zip bag." Thank you for saying that, at least.
Stupid whore. My God. We have news! News from the present day! Nilsen died in 2018! Thank God! And also, I can't believe he was still alive 4 years ago.
He was almost still alive to see the pandemics. So guys, I'm about to share with you something more graphic that I found out by watching some videos. So if you are not ready, please just move forward like 30 seconds.
Okay.
Just to share with you what Nilsen used to do with the victims. The victims were kept dead in the apartment for long periods of time. He used to watch TV with them and eat at the table with them. He even used to put them under the floorboards and then take them out when he wanted to do something. Some of them were kept in the wardrobe and taken out while he did some activities. And when he did not have any more floorboards and when he changed to these later apartments where he did not have access to some place to bury them, he used to boil
The heads.
the skulls and the bones and everything.
Oh, the
And-
foot, the feet and
yes,
hands,
and the
right?
hands and everything, so the meat would come out easily, and then he would flush everything from the toilet, and that was the thing that caused the flood, basically.
In the manhole.
Just so you can see the times that we were living. Nobody cared for the victims, and we were talking about 15 or 16 for 4 years. This was only found out because of the drains, because people were affected in their daily lives. Neighbors only paid attention when their lives got affected.
Yeah.
That is sad.
That's super sad. Ah!
And it's done. The most
I hate
awful thing
it.
that we had here, and I hope
hated
that
it. I hated
we are
it.
going to have in the future. Sorry for
I hated it.
suggesting this case, but
No, it's okay.
it's an important case for this month.
When we signed up to do this, we needed to have in mind that we might talk about cases that would be really graphic, but I think it's important to talk about this because we are really lucky as queer people to live in the world that we live nowadays. There is still hate crimes against queer people, trans people, people of color, and we are really lucky to live in a world where we can walk in the street with holding hands with our partners, and it's not the 80s. I can't imagine how queer people would live at that time, how painful it was for them, and I'm really sorry.
And for me, that of course, but for me it's not even just that. I believe that self-conscious just changed for the better. People are not so self-centered because the neighbors had to hear something, noises and struggle and fights. He used to strangle the victim, so it must have been fights and sounds and everything.
I think
nobody cared. Nobody.
But I think they were too drunk.
Okay, but something
Maybe.
must have happened, and
I know,
nobody paid attention, and nobody used to bother with other people's lives and other people's suffering. So
Nobody cared.
I guess that changed for the better too. I want to believe that.
Yeah, if you guys hear really weird noises in your neighbor's house, call the police.
Call the police. It doesn't cost anything.
Yeah.
Love don't cost a thing.
Follow us, rate us, go have a drink and see a video
Drink
with
the bottle.
fluffy cats
Drink the bottle.
to make you laugh.
Yeah.
Probably the darkest episode we ever did, but we have other episodes that are more funny. And
Go check this.
and you go check them because sorry guys.
Bye.
Bye.